Welcome to the Annie Jennings PR Real Stories of Success podcast. Annie Jennings PR is a strategic marketing and publicity firm that offers advanced branding, publicity, and marketing services to clients. Annie Jennings PR helps clients achieve their optimal levels of success using media outreach and develops messages for clients, packages and expands individuals, corporations, authors, and experts. Annie Jennings PR is well known for advising clients on exactly how to use their marketing dollars for optimal impact, given their personal and professional set of circumstances. Annie Jennings also offers the famous pay-for-placement publicity strategy that allows clients to access the specific media exposure required by their marketing strategy without the high cost of monthly retainers. And Annie has been an invited guest lecturer for the Harvard Club of Boston, New York University's publishing program, and for the American Society of Journalists and Authors. She is the premier publicity expert in the country, with her knowledge sought out by professionals and organizations, as well as media everywhere, including AOL.com, TheStreet.com, Us Weekly, and leading business magazine Fast Company, who says that Annie Jennings PR is the place to go learn how to become a best-selling author. And today we have a very special guest with us to share her real story, and that's Lauren Bloom, and she is president and CEO of Elegant Solutions Consulting. An attorney, speaker, and internationally recognized expert on business ethics, Lauren has spent almost 20 years teaching professionals how to maintain high ethical standards in their daily practice and responsibly manage their litigation risk. Lauren is a regular contributor to TheStreet.com and has appeared on the CBS Evening News, The Today Show, Fox Business News, ESPN, Washington Business Tonight, Good Morning Maryland, CBC, and Sky News London. She is also the author of the ebook Elegant Ethical Solutions and the award-winning book The Art of the Apology, How to Apologize Effectively to Practically Anyone. You can see and visit Lauren online at www.businessethicspeaker.com. So welcome both Lauren Bloom and Annie Jennings.
Well, thank you, Stacy, and welcome, Lauren. It's wonderful to have you here today to hear your real story.
Thank you, Annie. I'm delighted to be here.
All right, so why don't we start with what it was like before you discovered Annie Jennings PR for you in terms of your publicity initiatives?
Boy, it was difficult. You're talking to a lawyer with an idea and a book, actually 2 books, as you heard.
Mm-hmm.
But my skills as an attorney and a speaker don't necessarily mean I'm terrific at PR, and in fact, I really wasn't. I did get some attention prior to booking you, but certainly nowhere near as much as I've had since.
Exactly. That's wonderful. And I know that you work specifically with Sarah. Sarah is our national publicist. She books a lot of the major shows. And here at Annie Jennings PR, our publicity experts, our professionals who work with us, have a tendency to become very good at booking certain shows. So we specialize here. There's a big advantage to specializing in certain media outlets. You certainly get to know them quite well. And in your case, Lauren, it worked out for you because Sarah put you in a strategy. What was your goal?
Well, my goal was to get to where I would start getting speaking opportunities from people finding me online, which meant I had to become, as a friend of mine puts it, a little famous. And Sarah did an absolutely marvelous job of taking me and putting me on. We started with Good Morning Maryland, which was a local television show, gave me an opportunity to go in, talk about my book with a local host, and post that online. That went well enough that she was able to book me on the Today Show. So
Wonderful.
I went to New York for that. And then from there, because I had been on the Today Show, I found other media outlets were calling me, and of course, Sarah as well was able to book me again and again at big national media, so that I went in a matter of a couple of months from being that lawyer with a book to being an internationally recognized expert with wonderful, wonderful international television and print media.
Exactly, and I remember a lot of things that happened here. And I remember when Sarah, I remember the email she sent you saying, well, okay, we need a demo. In order to get to the Today Show, which was the goal, we need to have a demo because that's how it works. You work your way up this, we call it the ladder strategy. And we called it that because it's very simple. You simply go up the rungs of the ladder until you achieve your optimal levels of success. And as Lauren just mentioned, media begets media. And the more media you have, the more next level you can go. So the strategy here, our ladder strategy with Lauren, was to get that demo. We wanted that demo because in all other ways, Lauren was perfect for the Today Show and all the other media. However, one of the requirements for national media is they want to see how you are on TV, which is reasonable. A lot is invested in these major shows, so they want to make sure the guest is good on camera and has the experience of being in front of the lights, under the lights, you might say. With all the action that goes on, sometimes that can rattle a guest, and they wanted Lauren to have experience. That's what happens at these top levels of media. They want the guest to be strong, powerful, media savvy, and experienced, and a good talker. So we had to answer that. Prove. Lauren looks great. Prove to me that she's perfect for the show. So the demo was part of the strategy. So I know that Sarah seemed to put you in a strategy that was very streamlined. Wouldn't you say it really got you where you wanted to go? You just mentioned very fast as well.
Absolutely. It got me exactly where I wanted to go very quickly, and I will say I didn't spend a nickel that didn't pan out beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that Sarah did for me was very targeted. It was very cost-effective, and everything built on everything else. So that, as I mentioned, it has now given me a media profile where people are calling me from all over the world wanting to know what I think.
Aww.
It's kind of nice.
It is wonderful, and that's the goal, and that's how you leverage the investment that you made in your future, Lauren, in these media placements into new business, because now they're coming to you. What better outcome than having people call you to hire you? I mean, that's perfect. You get to pick up the phone and take jobs all day. People only dream of achieving that level of success in their lives and positioning.
Well, and I really have you to thank for it. I mean, you and Sarah have given me exactly what I needed for instant credibility, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, that is wonderful, and I know that you really enjoyed working with Sarah. So, again, what was it like to work with Sarah in terms of just her understanding who you were, getting it quickly, understanding what the outcome was, what the job to be done was, going after it for you, sort of hunting it down, you might say? I mean, was there ever a time where Sarah didn't do her job for you, you might say?
No. Sarah has done an absolutely marvelous job from start to finish. She understands what my topics are. She understands where I'm going to fit well. She's done a terrific job of finding those opportunities for me and lining them up just bing, bang, boom.
Mm-hmm.
There was one week in particular where... Oh, my goodness. Between Tiger Woods and Toyota, I was so busy my children were looking at me and saying, "Didn't you used to be our mother?" But it's because Sarah knew exactly what I needed and was able to go out and get me some absolutely wonderful media placements, which means not only did I have the benefit of having been seen by people really all over the world at this point, but I now have those clips from my website, which is tremendous, and my book sales have bounced too, which is nice.
Which is wonderful. I remember that week. You were everywhere at all times, but that's one of the keys to becoming a little famous, is to be everywhere at all times. And what I really like to know is about return on investment. A lot of clients, they really want to get something for their money. They don't want to be throwing their money away. They don't want to be paying expensive retainers for no results. They really want to invest. Do you feel like you really got a good return on your investment?
Absolutely. As I mentioned before, I don't think I have spent a dime with you that wasn't a good return on my investment. I certainly have never been sent to anything that wasn't a good fit. I've never had the opportunity to speak to somebody where they looked at me and said, "What are you doing here?" Everything was targeted to what I do, and everything was a very reasonable price for the level of exposure I was getting.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, one of the best feedbacks we do get is, well, all of our experts have a tendency to tell similar stories, but with their own personal slant. But one thing they say is their return on investment is phenomenal, given the price they paid. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Lauren. This might blow your mind a little bit. There are other people now entering the pay-for-placement business model that we're the ones who brought it national. We're the ones who realized it was a good, strong business model. It was a win-win. And it was inspirational to both parties, both sides. There was something in it for everybody. Well, we've just recently discovered that some other companies are getting into the mix here, and they actually solicited me to business through them. They wanted to see if my experts wanted to go on TV through them, which I thought was funny, right? And the prices. Okay, so you've been on some of these national shows. A show that you went on for a fraction of this price. They're charging $40,000 for a segment.
Well, and for small business owners, that's impossible.
Well, yeah.
That's a year's PR. You can't do that. But no, I paid nowhere near that with you, Annie, as you know.
No.
And honestly, what I have to say, since business ethics are my thing, I mean, part of ethics is being honest about giving somebody something for the money that they spend. And I have felt all along that the prices I have paid for your services are very reasonable. And what's been wonderful with you is I don't pay a nickel unless you get it from me.
Yeah.
In fact, there have been a couple of instances, and I've been just so impressed by this, where we've done something. For instance, you did a rolling radio show for me at one point, where I was answering radio questions all across the country, from coast to coast, as it were. And I got terrific exposure. I got lots of markets. But at the end of the day, it wasn't as many big markets as you had mentioned. So you didn't charge me for that. It was amazing.
Yes, exactly, because we do guarantee the outcomes. That's another thing as well. We guarantee outcomes as well. So if we make you a promise and it doesn't work the way that we promised, there would be no fee, or there would be a reduced fee.
And that's exactly what ethics are all about, is delivering what you promise. I won't mention who it was, but I did, before I found you, talk to another publicist who said, well, if you'll pay me X, I'll try to get an article posted for you with Forbes. And I looked at her and said, it doesn't work that way. What's wonderful with you is it's not, well, let me take your money and see what I can do. It's let me do for you what I promise I'm going to do, and then you can pay me a reasonable fee for it.
Yes, exactly. And, then we spoke to another company, and something we would have charged $2,500 for. Their fee for that was $19,000 for the same show. The same show. And the $40,000 show, that was for appearing on the network overnight.
Oh, my goodness.
In the middle of the nighttime slot. I know. And this is the thing, though, is that these segments are so valuable. These placements are so valuable that the prices are skyrocketing. It's like somebody just discovered, wow, I get this kind of major media exposure, and I now can earn 100-fold on my investment. That's a huge return on investment, and that's prompting these prices to skyrocket. Now, I promise you, we're not going to go that route because we do believe in we believe in a win-win, and our goal, and Lauren, you may not know this, we just live it every day, is for the betterment of all. And we're in business for the betterment of all. The more powerful and successful we can make Lauren bloom, the better she can be in doing her services to others and offering her services to others, the more people she can help. So through Lauren Bloom's success, we get to live our mission statement. And that's the driving force in our business. That's why it seems like we never get tired, right, Lauren?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, and you asked about Sarah. Another thing that is just phenomenal about Sarah is she stays with you right through it.
Ooh.
During that one wonderful, crazy week, there were times I left one of the television studios at 11 o'clock at night, and Sarah was on the phone saying, how did it go? It was just marvelous.
Mm-hmm.
When I did the Today Show for the first time, she came to New York and sat and held my hand just in case I was nervous. It was absolutely wonderful. It's a level of personal support that I have very much appreciated.
Well, that's wonderful. If there's anything else you'd like to add, now would be a good time. For instance, what if someone's listening who may be thinking, well, should I do this big retainer at the $10,000 per month for 5 months with this big name brand PR firm, or should I go with this pay-for-placement model that certainly sounds intriguing right now? What would you say?
Oh, go with Annie Jennings. I realize I'm sitting here on this show with you, so obviously I think you're terrific. But honestly, I can only recommend you because the work that you and your firm have done for me is so incredible that how could I tell someone to spend money on something else?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, Lauren, you've been a wonderful client, too, and we look forward to a lot more success. And you're really confirmed the fact that invest in yourself. It's a wise thing to do. Getting a little famous can make you a lot of success, a lot of rich, let's say, or a lot of money. And there's nothing wrong with money. There's nothing wrong with being successful.
Oh, no, money is wonderful.
Money is wonderful. Success, family, it's all great. It's all good. And investing in yourself using publicity really elevates your career. It gets you a new level of professionalism, to a new level of respect with the media. The media then feels comfortable booking you for their most coveted segments, and then people see you, contact you, and then want to do business with you. So it's a very nice business model. Building expert status, national expert status, it does pay off. We look at it as media gold.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. It's all well and good to have the content, and honestly, I don't think you can succeed without that. But
Right.
unless you can get your face out there, there are so many people in the market these days that without that exposure, it's very hard to prosper.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of Sarah, I guess what you don't know behind the scenes is every day is a new pitch. Every day is a new, what's happened in 12 hours to change the Lauren Bloom pitch? What's happened to change her positioning? What's happened to change her commentary? You see, that's how cutting edge and up to the second Sarah is.
Yeah, she's tremendous.
Yeah, and we all are here. I mean, this is what the publicists here, are all committed to that level of service to everyone. But I know that people love to hear about return on investment, and that's really great. If you wanted to, just offer a little more insight into how it's really paying off for you in terms of your business success.
Absolutely. Thanks to the work that you have done for me, I now have a much more live website. I'm getting a lot more queries, and recently I landed a nice big contract with a major consulting financial firm, and I'll be doing a series of speeches for them across the country for the rest of the year.
Yay.
I think I would not have gotten that if I didn't have the very polished, professional-looking website with the content that you have provided.
Well, that's perfect, and I didn't even know that, so that's a big surprise. Congratulations. Well, that's wonderful. Well, I want to thank Lauren Bloom for being with us today and sharing your real story. I know that the clients listening and the soon-to-be clients are very thankful that you took the time to come on and tell us what it was like for you.
Well, I'm glad to have the opportunity. I also believe in giving back, and I think when something's great and your services are, it's important to say so.
That's wonderful. Now, Lauren, how can people get in touch with you? Tell me a little bit about what services you provide, and if anyone's listening that really would like to contact you, such as to be a keynote or run a workshop for them, or come to work for them or help them out in any way, what kind of services do you provide along with your contact info?
I do keynotes, I do workshops, I do webinars, all about business ethics, what I call responsible litigation risk management, which means staying out of court not by ducking and hiding and lying, but by using good business practices in the first place so you never get to court. And, of course, when mistakes happen, and they do, because we're all human, being in a position to make an effective apology to a client rather than going to court. And I can be found at www.businessethicspeaker.com. And as I say, I'm available for keynotes, workshops, webinars, and I love to talk to people and help them avoid the pain and stress and expensive litigation.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Lauren Bloom, and until next time.